foundation stone was laid by Mayor Drinkwater in 1811, but it wasn't built until 15 years later. The architect was a man called John Foster, who was a town architect. The early 19th century was looking more at architecture, not in just a visual sense, but building safe buildings where there wasn't too much weight above the centres so that the whole thing would collapse, where the thing was built, as we might say, scientifically, so that it would survive. The May Blitz of 1941, 7 nights of bombing. St Luke's basically lost its roof and most of its interiors, but the structure obviously survived as a recognisable structure. There was a dispute over the land. The Earl of Derby, one of the biggest landlords on Merseyside, had granted them the land in 1791 on the very strict understanding that it could not be used for any other purpose rather than a church.
My name is Ambrose Reynolds. I'm Creative Director of Urban Strawberry Lunch and I look after St Luke's, the bombed out church. Started in 1987 and it was me and a friend of mine who I went to school with, and me and him were in the Liverpool Cathedral Choir together. I got chucked out for misbehaving and we just started making music using conventional instruments and bits of old rubbish, and then we had a fire in the rehearsal room and all the regular instruments all burned to a crisp. But we also do stuff like the meditation with Ruth. That's free for homeless people, it's £1 for regular folks.
We've tried what we did, the practice that we do in several other places, but coming here felt absolutely right. It's what people have often described as a thin place where the membrane between heaven and earth is thinner. I do the Tai Chi. I've been doing Tai Chi for about 15 years, been practicing Tai Chi, and I've found it really helpful on a personal level, and I wanted to share that with other people.
But there's a very wide variety of people that I've met here, from kind of foreign tourists to sort of street homeless people. I know they've done a lot of work. When I say work, I think they just don't judge the people who come in and they sort of accept.
We had one guy come in, a fella from Wigan, Wigan Paul, and he came in and said, "Give me money, I need some sherry." And I was like, "No, I can't give you any money, Paul." "Go on, I'm rattling, I need a bottle of sherry." And I'm like, "No, I can't do that, Paul." I said, "Would you like to paint a bottle of sherry?" And he went, "Okay, yeah." So I sat him down, put some reggae on for him to listen to because he likes reggae. And he was painting, and he spent about an hour painting this really great bottle of sherry on this piece of hardwood, and then just looked at it. He went, "I feel much better." I said, "Do you still need a sherry?" He said, "No, I feel all right."
At the plot of Tony Teardrop, it's centred around a residential home for homeless alcoholics, and Tony Teardrop is one of the residents there. The setting for the piece originally was here in the bombed out church. And this is a place where people who have lots of the challenges that are linked to the themes in the play gather, and it's a really wonderful haven for people. It's a great community that Ambrose and Liz from Urban Strawberry Lunch, that's what they've created here right in the heart of the city.
Billy, he's been thrown out of his house because his mum's got a new boyfriend, and he's just been living rough on the streets, and he gets taken in. Well, he gets referred to this place. He's come here to try and sort of get his stuff together and get his head together. think it's up there with the two cathedrals, maybe if, you know, ahead of them, so I think it's a really big part.
It's very curious that it has become more important as a church building in a less religious age.
And I think if I'm not doing it anymore, what I'd like to do is train up other people so they can run it in the same style or better and keep the space open.